Do you remember just a couple of days ago when I said that this was happening? It was already here, and maybe you just weren't seeing the signs. As of yesterday, August 20th, I was contacted by a source that I trust implicitly. I have no reason to doubt them, and they've never led me in the wrong direction. When you hear what I'm going to tell you, I don't want you to hear it with fear in your heart, but I want you to be thinking critically, constructively, and be forming a plan. When Trump said that he was cleaning up the streets of Washington, D.C. because of crime rates, staggering crime rates, a lot of people, including myself, called BS because I'm sure many of us can think of places that have a lot worse crime, like, I don't know, New York, Chicago. Depending on where you live, you can probably name a few yourself. That is a testing field. As you know, there are camps that have been built for illegal immigrants. And if you're unaware, there has been an influx of ICE agents. Now, they're giving large sign-on bonuses, $40,000, $50,000, in order to sort of bait everyone into it. And many people think, so what? We're cleaning up illegal immigrants. ICE itself is not going to go away, but everyone who has been joining as of late will go into a new sector. I am not allowed to divulge what it will be called. So for the purpose of this video, let's just call them guards. Now, as you know, Project 2025 really jacked with our fundamental freedoms. That means freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom to peacefully assemble. And then they came out with Project Esther, which they're labeling as an anti-Semitic movement, but really, if you read through it, it's cutting us off from open society, cutting us off from the economy, and cutting us off from Congress. I also informed you, I think just last week, that parts of Section 8 and all of 9 and 10 are gone from the Constitution. 9 and 10 means that you have to have habeas corpus, meaning proof to hold someone of a crime. Evidence, body of evidence is what it is. Now, it's no secret that the people in Alligator Alcatraz, for example, have had their 8th Amendment taken away. Now, some of you might say, again, they're illegal immigrants. What I want you to focus on is the human, the body that is there. So the 8th Amendment means that you cannot inflict cruel or unusual punishment, and that includes being fed. So while this is starting in DC as a testing ground, essentially, this will move on to Virginia, New York, Florida, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania. Now, why are they doing this? Well, it's being dubbed, or slang term, as the purification process. Purification of what, you might ask? Well, it was just illegal immigrants, and then it was just criminals, and then it was just the homeless. But purification means getting rid of the poor, the very poor, the homeless, as they've already started doing, the mentally ill, the handicapable, the gays, non-Christians, and anyone who doesn't abide by or align with their anti-Semitic views and values. Now, since they've done away with the habeas corpus, that means they can take your family member that was removed from society due to dementia. And because you won't have your 14th Amendment, which is freedom of movement, you will not be able to get those papers to travel into the state where your loved one is being held. So as you know, if you were to leave the country, you need to have a passport and sometimes a visa. There will come a time, and not too far in the distant future, where you will need certain paperwork and basically permission to enter and exit certain states. Meaning, if your loved one is being held in one of these states for being removed from society, for having dementia, you can't just go visit them. You can't check on their well-being. You will be given no information. This is not going to be the military against the citizens, which is illegal, by the way. The loophole that they're using is citizens against citizens. You are either for the purification process or you're not. Now, a lot of them are going to be led in the way of this is for anti-Semitism. That's what's going to bring them on board. It's going to be cleaning up our country, bettering our country, paving a way for a healthier lifestyle and a healthier environment. What they haven't even told them is how far they're going to take this. If you are in a homosexual marriage, your paperwork will eventually no longer be recognized. So you might be wondering, how is any of this possible? They can't do this. Well, the legislative branch is controlled by the Speaker of the House, who is just third in line to the president. The president himself is in control of the executive branch, and he oversees and dictates everything that happens with the judicial branch. Those are the three branches that could have protected you. It doesn't matter whether or not he's going to be running for a third term. It doesn't matter who is in place at that moment, as scepters will be broken off and they will have their own statewide rules and laws that you will have to abide by. None of this is to scare you, but I want you to start thinking critically. If you are someone who cannot get your mentally disabled or homosexual family member, or if you are homosexual yourself, if you cannot get out of the country for whatever reason, and there, I'm sure, are a myriad of reasons that people can't leave, including myself, you need to figure out a plan, because this is already happening, and what I'm telling you about is coming up quick.